All right, James chapter 1, verse 27. It says, no, not that. Verse 26, it says, if any man among you seem to be religious, which that word just means spiritual, and bridleth not his tongue, meaning have your tongue under subjection, but deceiveth his own heart, this man religion is vain. And bridleth, the Greek,
Strong's G 5468. Chalinagogeo.
to lead by a bridle to guide. You know, so if you don't put your tongue under subjection, right? It says, what? He that claimeth to be spiritual, if any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, meaning he's not keeping his tongue under check, but deceiveth his own heart, this man religion is vain. Why? Because you got to deal with the order. Right? Now, I'm going to mention again this account we had with this brother who came down for a while, and I asked him not to come back because, and he doesn't like when I mention it, and I asked him not to come back because when he was being disrespectful to me, he said it, you know, he said, well, I look at you as a peer. I don't look at you as a guy that's over me. So you may want to stop, but if I want to go on and say what I want to say, I'm going to say what I want to say. Now, it wasn't no shock to me because he had a history of doing that, talking to brothers crazy, and you know, and even though he may have had the right in that, I still told him, I said, well, look, he's still part of the camp. So even though you may have been wronged, you shouldn't have came at him and talked to him like that, like he was just a guy on the street. And when he said that to me, I said, look, I don't need to hear anything else. You know, please don't come back. But out of his same mouth, he said, I don't have a problem with the order of GreatMillstone. And then what he doesn't like to know is that I had two witnesses there, and they both agreed the same thing. They both said, well, how can you say that? He's the head of the camp, right? And he's been in the truth for X amount of years. And your response, well, it ain't about how many years you've been in. And he said, okay, but he's still the head of the camp. Well, my elders are the elders of GreatMillstone. In my mind, I'm like, okay, the man's delusional. He thinks the way we operate is different from what a different camp operates. And then he mentioned Chicago. Like, if you honestly believe if you was to go to a different GMS camp and it's different anywhere else, look, feel free. Go right ahead. Be my guest. Right? So that's a part of the order. Now, let me jump because the brother made the exact same statement. I'm going to let him say it so you can realize that it's not just me saying it. You understand?
As much as we can. We have some more experience, of course. But yeah, a lot of things they can be talked to about. And this is, again, this is not no specific brother. You know, I mean, I have a thumb at the end of the day, which means I love you all. All right, but there's a specific spirit and order supposed to be coming. All right, and as a synopsis, the overall understanding is that you need to know them that labor among you. In order to do that, you have to be there. All right, you have to make every effort to be there. 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 13 again, it says, esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake, and be at peace among yourselves. Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient to all men. So let's go through each one of these. Warn them that are unruly. Another word for unruly there is disorderly, going against what the order is. You have a lot of men out there, yes, you're sincere, and now you found out the truth, and you want to get up under the order of the GreatMillstone, but then once we start saying things and doing things, all of a sudden, you got an ego. You know you're proud.
And that's the order that you have to deal with amongst GreatMillstone. There is a order. Now, like with that one brother, like the fact that you took that tone up with me, that lets me know that if you're willing to talk to me that way, then you're going to talk to the other camp that way, and you can't do that. There is a order. Right? Now, if you have it in your spirit, well, I think it should be done this way, then go do your own thing. Or, go join another camp. It's just when it comes to GreatMillstone, you don't need to be a part of. So, just going back to the example that the people out there who put GMS on their YouTube channels, even though you tell them to take it down nicely, they still say no, right? Like, oh, I disagree. I don't think I have to be a part of GMS to put GMS on the title. We've dealt with plenty of people out there. There's plenty of people out there who's like that. All we do is that we just mark them and we just let the congregation know, like, look, this guy isn't willing to follow the order. He wants to do his own thing. So if you have it amongst yourself or how camp should be ran or how things should be done, and you don't want the order that Great Millstone says, if you want to come with, well, this is how it should be done, or it should be done like this, then don't come around Great Millstone. Just start your own camp. Do your own thing. There's no hard feelings, but Great Millstone, there's an order. Don't say I ain't got a problem with the order Great Millstone, but then out of your same mouth say I don't look as the head of the camp as somebody that's over me. That doesn't make any sense. That's delusional if I ever seen it or heard it. Look at Nazariah of Chicago. What happened with him? We all know the story. He was among Chicago, double honors to the elders, so forth. But then he said Dan should be on the chart. And he was teaching that, and I think he was doing it or whatever. Apostle Tahar heard wind of it. He said, well, listen, we ain't about that. If you want to do it, then just go your own way, take GMS off your title, and look how upset he got. Because he wanted to do things his way. That's not how it's worked. That's not how it works up here. And you just heard another brother in GMS say it. This is not me just saying it. Right? This is 1 Timothy chapter 6. It says, let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of Yahweh and his doctrine be not blasphemed. And they that have believing masters, let them not despise them, because they are brethren, but rather do them service. You know what that means? That means for the most part, you're going to have to follow orders. You're going to have to take orders. You got guys out there that their whole life, they lived one certain way, but now they want to come up under some type of order and be told what to do, and they got a problem with it. Now, it's no problem. That just means that you could do your own thing. You don't need to be amongst GMS. That's it. But if you come to GMS, understand that there is an order. And I tell everybody that comes down, I said, this is how we do it. This is how it's done. This is how it's done with the other camps and so forth. It says, because they are faithful and beloved and partakers of the benefit. These things teach and exhort. If any man teach otherwise and consent not to wholesome words, even to the words of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the doctrine which is according to godliness, aka the order of the church, he is proud, knowing nothing. It ain't nothing but pride. Did not the brother or the elder just say the same thing? Right? I think it should be done this way, or I disagree type of deal. That ain't nothing but pride. Feel free to do your own thing.
You know what I mean? This happened in the past, specifically here in the DMV. We started getting the order, and guys had started getting in their feelings, man. It's like yo, we laying down the law and the order as the customs of the spirit and power Yahweh Shemel Shah that is passed on from our elders and apostles. And now you're in your feelings. Now you have questions. We tell you something, you have a question. Why are you questioning? You weren't questioning when you were listening, on the outside. So what's the deal?
And like I said, and this is just me personally. Like, I mean, it's not that frequent, you could say, but there are some people out there, in my opinion, that don't belong in the camp. They're not brotherly. They don't like order. Sometimes some people don't need to be like, one, if you're a demon, of course, and two, if you're unruly. If you got to question everything, come against everything, you can't be tamed, right? You can't be under some type of rule. And I don't mean tamed in a literal sense, but right, you can't show humbleness. You got to say everything that's on your mind. You can't take the load. You don't need to be in the camp, right? Now, if you got the spirit where you want to do and operate how you operate, feel free, right? You can say double honors, give double honors. But if you come down to the camp and want to be a part of Great Millstone, understand there is an order. Whatever, talk with that camp leader. If you tell him that you want to be down with it, one of the first things you got to do is prove yourself. Get the camp times that camp leader, that they go down. They may go out multiple times a week. Make it when you can. Show your diligence. And then eventually, right, because right now the order is still out that the door's closed, but if you show yourself sincere and diligent, depending on how you operate and conduct yourself, you may be invited to other lessons or so forth and so on, and then eventually it might happen. So that's the laydown in the order of Great Millstone and how it currently is. This isn't just me saying this, okay? This is the order, all right? So with that, I hope it was edifying, and I say shalom.